and welcome back in to the cutest little blacksmith in all the land, otherwise known as Anvil Saga. This is part 2. It's been a little while in between videos, but I got requested for this one, so let's catch you all up on what Arthur's been up to. So if you haven't watched the first video, you will see the little bit of it. It's going to pop up here with a link. You can go back and watch the first one. But essentially, we're at the point where we're trying to upgrade Arthur's stalls so he can be a better blacksmith. But it does require prestige that we don't have, and it does require money that we don't have. And I basically had forgotten how to play this game, so I kind of started all over again at this point. I'm trying to remember the order in which to do stuff. Like I said, it was a while between videos. I hadn't played the game in between, and I had to reteach myself, and that's kind of what we were doing at the very start. And then we wait and we're building, and then a lovely builder comes along and asks us if we can do a job for them. And they want some hammers. And again, this is one of the great things about the game, is that you kind of have all these choices pop up all the way through, and they do influence and change the story. So it is quite a cool way that they've done the game so that you're constantly influencing it. And I don't know what would have happened if I refused that builder. What would happen if I don't do the next task? And I think that's what makes it interesting, because you could probably play this game through a couple of times and make completely different decisions and see how it goes. Also, I just love the fact that that guy right there who's my customer is letting me know that their arse is itching, because I don't know why it was necessary, but apparently it was. And this is just us. It's been a while, and that's one of the things I would say about this game. It is a little bit of effort. It takes time. This video is going to be less than 20 minutes long. It was over an hour's worth of gameplay. Not a lot of time, realistically, but it is more time than I'm making it look like, because to get the resources, to make the ingots, to do all the jobs, it does take some work. So yeah, it is worth it because it's fun, but just be prepared to do a lot of work. Also, these little things pop up. So these are events happening in the local area, and they influence things like the cost of goods, who's likely to be coming to visit your shop, things like that. And I just think, again, another added element that just makes the game interesting and a little bit of fun. So at this point, we're just chilling out. Again, trying to kind of get the resources we need when the Baron stops back. So here, if you've watched the first video, you'll remember that we had the Baron in the first one. He was a good friend of our dad's, and we're trying to kind of restore dad's blacksmithy. I don't think I've ever known what the word for the building is, but let's just call it a smith. And the Baron is, I think he's trying to be nice, but he comes across a bit dodged, to be honest. He's a bit like, yeah, I always give your dad lots of work, but do I trust you? Do I trust you? And it's like, dude, in the tutorial we made you a necklace or a bracelet or something, and you were really happy with it, so why are you giving us shade now? But anyway, I think there's something a bit dodgy about it. So he asks us to make some swords, says they can be dull, but they need to look good. Only offers to pay us for the materials because it's a simple task. And then we ask why they need the swords. Like, Arthur's like, oh, dude, yeah, what do you need them for? So he can do a good job as a blacksmith. And the Baron gets all, like, I don't know, defensive, and is like, no, you can't. And if you do ask and you do challenge this, it'll disgrace your father's name. It then gives us a choice again. We can make different quality swords. I chose to put effort into it because, you know, the Baron was our dad's friend. We want him to be impressed and happy with us. So yeah, we set off on this lovely little mission to make 7 swords. And again, it takes time. They give you quite a lot of time to do it, but it just takes time because you're constantly having to mine for resources. You're constantly having to create ingots, and at the same time, both of your little characters, workers, need sleep. They need food, so you are constantly taking breaks. I tried to hire more staff, but the amount of money it costs is a lot, and I don't have that kind of money. So instead, you know, I've just got to keep resting them and fooding them and doing all the things. But they do get a little bit of breaks in there, and it does keep you kind of on top of your toes. And it's no different to any other game. There's always energy levels for whoever you're playing as a character. So yeah, it's just be aware that there's a little bit of work in between. And this made me laugh so much when this appeared in the game. So a mysterious count has appeared in the middle of the night to ask us why we are open and to let us know that they have a job for us. And I just think it's just so cute. Like, this is one of the things that makes me love this game so much. Like, I think the graphics are really cute. I think the actual gameplay and stuff is really easy to do, but also you've got to work at it. But these are the storylines that just make it so cute. Like, a vampire. Count Dracula is at my back door right now asking me to make them a set of iron cutlery because they can't use silver cutlery because they're allergic to it. And I just think, like, who thought of that? Who was building this game and was like, dude, you know what we need to do? You know what we need to do? We need vampires. We need vampires. But respect to them when they did, because I think it's cute. Again, we could refuse this job if we wanted to, but I didn't want to really annoy Count Dracula himself, so I decided to accept it. And obviously when you do these things, read things, because here it tells me that gold stuff is going to be needed from the merchant, and I ignored that. Don't get it from the merchant, and just basically then spend however long it then takes me not really doing anything until the timer runs out, which you can see at the top there. The timer is red. There's basically no time left. I've got one blacksmith trying to do stuff, but we've got no tools. I've got the other one who's starving and really tired. Like, it's not going well. At this point, I feel like I really lost the ability to, like, synchronize what they're working as and to kind of try and get the jobs done. So we're gonna have a very angry vampire in a second, which was not the goal. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did not want to annoy the vampire, but yeah, basically we're letting them know that we failed. They call us worthless, and then they get really mad at us, and then they leave. But I do like it because Arthur gives a little bit of sass back, and I respect that. So it was kind of, yeah, it's kind of cute, but here we are. They're eating, they're gonna get some rest, they're gonna get some sleep, and again, it's just all about, at this point, trying to get our reputation up, trying to get the money, because we still want to upgrade the stall. Like, as much as making these swords and doing all the things are good, it doesn't really help us when what we're really trying to do is upgrade the stall. So it's constantly that being the focus in our mind. And all of these quests, like, we don't really get paid for them. They're more about, like, hey, helping the reputation and progressing the story along. But it's a bit annoying. We're going to make 7 swords and not get paid for it, because it's a lot of resources. So it better come back in the future that the Baron actually does us a massive favour, because right now I don't really know why we're making all these swords for the Baron. But he seems quite happy. He's coming to pick up his swords. He's like, I made them to the best of my ability, mate. They're amazing. And then he's like, oh, your dad would have been better at it. Like, I don't think we like the Baron. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think we like the Baron. If I remember rightly, though, I think it's his daughter that we're in love with. So we're going to have to do a little bit of sucking up, but I definitely don't think I like the Baron. But Arthur really wants to be, like, the court blacksmith and wants the Baron's approval. So, you know, we've got to make Arthur happy. And apparently the Baron's just been holding on to our dad's tools all this time, which feels a bit rude. Like, I feel like that's not a good move, but also at the same time, you know what I mean? You do you, Baron, because apparently getting those tools don't really do anything for us. Like, at no point does it pop up and be like, hey, yeah, you got tools, well done. This was just me, like, exploring a little bit in the game, because, like I said, it had been a while, but there's a little bit where you can check what stories and what's happened and what kind of things and events have gone on in the game. You can check your current quests on here if you have them as well, if you need more detail, and it just kind of gives you the information that you might need about the game. And then there is another one as well, which is this one that kind of tells you who's your friend at the moment, because there's lots of different, like, factions within the game. The English, the French, and like rogue traders and bandits and things, so it's good to know which one of those lovely people are or are not on your side, as the case may be. Again, I think this is just us opening up the shop, grafting, trying to get some money, because we definitely need money. We've got 3 gold at this point. We're trying to make 200 gold. So it is a little tiny ickle bit of a pipe dream, it would seem. But yeah, if anyone doesn't really remember, you just accept the jobs, you hammer out the jobs, and then you complete the jobs and get paid for them. A lot of people in this game also just seem to ask for loans. Like, hey, can you just make it me and I'll pay you later? Which, tiny ickle bit frustrating, not gonna lie. Oh, and then, oh, this happens. Okay, so, this guy turns up, the headman, in a bit of a panic. And Arthur just thinks it's about the cow, but it's not about the cow. It's letting him know the French and English armies are nearby, and their commanders are going to be coming to see Arthur. So, like, if this story was not dramatic enough, I mean, we had a vampire before, we've got a Baron that we don't trust, there's a love story in here somewhere, and now we found out that the leaders of the armies of this war that's going on want our blacksmith friend, Arthur, to give him a hand. But what it also tells us, really, is to let us know that there is going to be choices, and those choices are going to influence quite a lot. Because there is a French army and an English army, and we are only allowed to choose one. So we're only allowed one friend, and it lets us know that Lord Montgomery, the English, is about to arrive, and the local French Duke will come right soon. But yeah, also they're all a bit worried that if we do something wrong, it might badly influence the village. And the narrator just lets us know, we need to pick. Are we going to go for the English because we're English, or are we going for the French because that's where we are? But it's letting us know basically we need to make a clever choice because we can only support one side, and those decisions are going to influence everything. So this is the English turning up. Now, my name is British Summertime. I'm English through and through. And yeah, spoiler alert, I pick the English, mate. Of course I do. Of course I do. So this is the lovely Montgomery, and he's like, hey, your name's Arthur, right? It doesn't sound very French. And Arthur's like, yep, you're right. We're English. We're English, mate. And he's like, well, it's your God-given duty to help us, and you've got to. I mean, I don't like the way he's going here. He should have given the guy a choice. But yeah, I pick England. And I don't know what it is. I just love these elements in the game. I love that we have to choose. I love that we get to pick whether we support the English or support the French. I accept the order. I nearly refused. I ummed and ahed about it. And the reason I ummed and ahed, if we're 100% honest, is because I'm pretty sure the girl that Arthur's in love with is French. And I think this may cause, like, some issues for Arthur in the future with his love interest. And I am a bit nervous about that. If I have to be 100% honest, I am a little bit nervous for poor Arthur and what's going to happen to him. But we're going to work on it and we'll get it figured out because, you know, Arthur doesn't deserve to be without his love interest just because we can't protect him. And then this is the French Duke turning up, being all smarmy, and is like, oh, you look so busy, and the English are surrounding us, and that the local baron has spoke highly of us. Well, only of our father, not of us. And that's why he's come, because he trusts us, because of what the baron said. And he's like, I know the English are probably going to come around too, but actually, we kind of want you to help us, and then we've got to make the choice. So we're not allowed to accept the order because it's made it very clear that because we've accepted the English order, we're only allowed one. And Arthur tries to be nice about it. He's like, oh, my family's indebted to France, but I already accepted the English offer. And he's like, yeah, nope, you're one of them. You're one of them at heart. I knew. And then it's like, I would put you into service for the French, but I actually need good quality blacksmithing. So now he's going to go to Jean-Jacques, which, could you get a more French name if we're 100% honest? But yeah, so it's going to cause problems, because if anyone remembers, Jean-Jacques is our enemy. He's the one who's trying to get the girl that we're in love with and smart me up to the Baron. So now we've just sent French business his way. And the English are obviously here for us, but it's still like, ugh. But then, one of my favourite little bits that pops up is randomly an eccentric pirate. No comment. But yeah, so apparently this pirate is in the middle of France and lost and looking for his ship, and all he wants is a compass. And I just love this. I'm a captain, remember that. But yeah, all he wants is a compass. He's an eccentric captain. Can we make him the compass? And this time I pay attention and know that we have to order a part from the merchant. And yeah, it's just really cute. It's really cute that that's, again, another added element into the game that didn't probably need to be there, but definitely adds some fun and some silliness. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, like, what other characters are going to pop up. Who else are we going to see? Like, it'd be great in the comments if you do watch this. Let me know. Let me know who you think we're going to see popping up in the game. We've already had Mysterious Count, and we've already had an eccentric captain. But what else might we see in the game? Who else might pop up? What else might happen? Like, it just makes me smile so much. It's a silly element. It's one they definitely didn't need to include, but one I, for one, am really grateful that they do. And yeah, so I had to order the part from the merchant, which is what I got wrong with the vampire's order, because I didn't realize I had to order it. But there's my little captain. France is asking us to pay taxes. We didn't have enough money, so we refused to pay the taxes. But basically, I'm just waiting for the merchant to deliver it so that I can complete the order. And I just think it's like I say, it's just a really cute little element added into the game. Arthur's just woke up because he's been asleep. And we're just kind of chilling. I like the way the merchant system works. You order, you see the little merchant walk along, you see him put it in the thing, and then as soon as it's in that box, you can use those resources. Arthur's cooking himself some food, and then we will need to get back to the Englishman's order. The captain seems happy. Did it work? Does it point south? Like, where in France is he that he's going to walk all the way? I don't know what sea he's going to. Probably the Mediterranean, I guess. Yeah. And then the captain left. But it's just such a, it's like I say, a cute element. Really cute element. I love it. So this is us, I think, just finishing up the Englishman's sword order, which obviously will, you know, change the game a little bit because now we've helped the English. I think the way the game is going to run as well is like that might determine the war regardless of what obviously actually happened in the war. So I think that the more we side with the English, the more it might affect the war and the breakout and therefore the village. Because it's obviously a French village and yet we're siding with the English. Makes it a little bit complicated. But here's the English soldier, here to pick up their swords. And Arthur's obviously proud to be helping his homeland. And then we just keep the shop open for a little bit. Basically now it's kind of that little bit of the get as much money and as much gold as we can because we need to spend it. We need to increase the prestige. We need to build ourselves some cool things. So it's just now constantly working and checking what we've got in terms of ingots and what we've got in terms of things that we can make. And yeah, basically that's pretty much what we achieved. We didn't get to upgrade the store. Like I said, it was over an hour worth of gameplay. There's another event popping up here. This is the religious festival, and again it changed who's going to visit your store, what you're going to do. We were lucky in the sense that we did seem to get some money, so I have been able to get our prestige up to 34. But other than that, honestly, it's just kind of a case of playing the game out. So hopefully next time we will get to upgrade the stall and see what that does to the game. But for now, we're going to sign off and hopefully we'll be rich next time. I don't know, but maybe. So I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and let's see what happens to Arthur, the cutest blacksmith in all the land.